higher voltage.
Yes, sir. We back with another episode today, Higher Voltage Podcast. I got two special guests in the building. Tim 954 was good, my brother.
What's going on, brother, man? How you feeling, man? Y'all already know, man. It's Culture Talk TV, and I'm appreciated to have my brother bringing me to the pod tonight.
You already
man.
know, brother, man.
Y'all already know it's high voltage. Y'all tap in, man. So, man, tell them what's going on, man.
You already know. I also got my boy DJ Bobby in the building. You already know.
What's going on, everybody out there? It's Higher Voltage TV, Higher Voltage Podcast. DJ Bobby, live in effect. We here, baby.
Yeah, so today we're going to be talking about a few topics. We're going to talk about distractions, and we also going to be talking about perception versus illusion. So y'all stick around for the whole layout. You already know. So we're going to set it off with distractions. You know, sometimes you could have goals and you could be focused on a few things, and other things that might pop up that's fun or even serious, it can get in your way. But you know, you got to be tunnel vision to complete the mission. So, you know, I'm going to set it off with you, Tim, because it was inspired by you. I seen you out there making your video, making your content, and you was talking about distractions. So,
Nah, most definitely, man. I appreciate that. I appreciate just acknowledging the video itself because it's a deep message when it comes to distraction, brother, because a lot of people view distraction in a negative aspect. They feel that distractions will appear in a negative way.
Right.
Now understand that a distraction can appear in a positive way.
Right.
If you know what you're doing and you have a roadmap to where you're going, somebody may come to you and say, hey, I got to play for you.
Right.
But if that's not on my roadmap,
right,
that's a distraction.
Right.
And a lot of people don't really understand the fact that it don't have to be a distraction of, hey, let's go hit this nigga, or let's go do something negative, or let's go, rob a bank.
Right.
It could just be a distraction that you focus on creating your podcast, and somebody call you and say, hey, it's a club tonight, and so gonna be out there. That's a positive distraction, but that's something you want to do because you got real goals.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got real, like I said, a roadmap.
Right.
You know what I mean? And anything that come into that. And the sad part is that most of the time it do be negative things. They do be people calling you
with shit that's not an opportunity.
Right, exactly. It's non-beneficial at all. Like, it's really going to throw you off if you engage into whatever they talking about.
And I also learned, too, anything you give too much energy to, if it's not, like you said, on the road map or a part of your goals, you taking away energy from what you should be. So if you go to that club, you're going to be tired tomorrow for the hustle, for the grind, or other stuff, and you just going to be thrown off because you might have a hangover, all kind of stuff. It's all right to have fun sometimes, but what are you guys really celebrating all the time, every weekend? It's a lot of celebrating going on. I don't know if it's a lot of ownership going on, but we gonna keep it on the distractions for right now.
That part.
How you feel about it, Bobby?
Well, too much of anything is almost like abuse. You have to take a break. You have to align yourself and center yourself, because everybody that's in here is like, we're like the sun.
Right.
You're like your son, S-U-N.
Right.
You know, I'm a son. So when we're out in public and we hear all this noise, it could be distracting us, you know, in a negative way.
Right.
And now we may, and not to be so negative about it, but it may make us upset, and now we're unaligned. And now, all right, I'm supposed to go to this podcast, but now I'm angry at this dude that cut me off at the light.
Right.
And now I want to go handle my business about that and spin around on that. But if you align yourself, it's like, all right, let me stay focused, align myself and center myself again. I'm like, all right, I'm not even wetting that. That's not that serious at all. Right. And you're going to let it go. Because 9 times out of 10, you should be letting stuff go. Like, we have a path. You have a path. You have a path. You have a path. Everybody has a path. I have a path. So it's like, if we're not walking our path, we're unaligned.
Right.
And we can tell when it's happening because the universe is always speaking to us. Right. Like, it's like, shit, I was supposed to go over here. And I can't even go over here because I was stuck in traffic. Yeah, because that was teaching you something else. And now you got a phone call over here. And you like, oh, yeah, I could do that for you. Right. And now it's better business, you know? Right. So I've learned not to force things. You know what I mean? And when things are a distraction, don't always look at it like my man said, don't always look at it like it's negative. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes it might be saving your life.
Right. And to speak on that too, because I was just going to say that, like, some distractions is like lively costing. Like, it might cost your life, or it might cost you your freedom. Right. I know some niggas that got too much time on their hand, and they say an idle mind is a devil playground. So if you always available, and it might not be negative, but they be like, hey, bro, that ride up the street right quick. By you not having a goal or a dream or something to occupy your time, you too available for just the regular ride up the street. Ain't no telling what he been doing, who car he stole, who somebody looking for him. And now you put yourself in a position where you might lose your life or your freedom. So just as well as, you know, you got positive distractions, them negative ones weigh a ton.
A ton. And the sad part about it, we have homies that may know you're available, right?
Right.
And they know they doing dirt, but they want to pick you up to have somebody that they can just say, this ain't mine, or this ain't mine, right. Because they know, because you know they know that you're available, so you can ride with me while I'm doing this. And that's the crazy part about it, is that's why we don't want to be available to those. You know what I mean? We want to be available to opportunity of God, right? And if it ain't of God, you know it ain't, because a nigga telling you some drama, nigga just tried him at the store, come with him up there. Oh, come on, man, what is that gonna get us? You know what I mean?
And my whole thing is, don't come get me while you got problems. Or where you was at when you probably were hanging out, having fun, making money or something. Come get me on the play first. Then double back on me for some pressure or op. Don't be calling me and you been having fun, living your best life and been going on, and then you want to call me by some pressure, boy.
They already got the pot stirred, you know what I'm saying? They like, hey, listen, we was gonna throw you in here and be like, hold up. Be like, you got.
I ain't risking my freedom of my life for nobody who ain't on the campaign about $1 or about their life with me. Fuck that. But that's what you youngsters need to know too. A lot of niggas be trying to swindle people to do shit for them that they ain't gonna do for themselves. Be aware of that, you know what I'm saying? Don't let nobody do nothing that you ain't gonna do for yourself, you heard me?
Nah, that's real. I mean, so what is some distractions that y'all can say that the youngsters probably can relate to? Like, what are some distractions y'all think like these youngins probably deal with on a day-to-day basis?
I could go first. I feel like it's some of the same distractions that anybody went through, any generations. I just feel like the time has changed where it's more of them and it's faster. So the same way how you'll give an OG respect for making some cash or catching a body or starting a business or doing prison time is the same way how a younger cat could kind of probably already made some money, caught a body, started a business, did prison time. He could get glorified for some of the same street rules or money things that any other age person that could be called of age doing. So, you know, the YNs chasing the clout, they chasing the money at a faster age, just like how some of us was fast, young too, trying to make money, be a man faster, be like, oh, I want to be this and have my own and have my own. So, you know, they out here chasing, and some of them doing it in a positive light, some of them doing it in a negative light. But distractions could be drugs, illegal ways to make money, dirty money, you feel what I'm saying?
And the reason I asked you that is because I believe that the youngsters got a different distraction than what we got. Our distraction was women and money.
Right.
And showing off our clothes, fashion.
Right.
Their distraction is bodies. Is actually like evil shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? Like, their distraction, our distraction was cool player shit. Like, you know what I mean? Their distraction is pure evil shit.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think that, like, that's a bad direction that as a community that we're heading in, and it takes people like us to stand up and show them that it's people that came from your community, and this is what we're doing. We spreading this unity of understanding that, man, stop chasing them silly distractions that's going to lead you nowhere. That has no meaning to your life.
Facts. I mean, but, you know, it's an ignorant side to our society that like violence and like crazy shit. So it come to a point where a person just got to choose what they want out of life. You feel what I'm saying? Because ain't nobody above the program. So if you going to be out there slinging iron, somebody might get a chance to sling iron on you one day. You know what I'm saying? If you out here getting money, you might be able to get more money. I mean, you just got to put yourself in predicaments where it make more sense for you to have longevity, because a lot of these comings that I see a lot of niggas get too, YNs get, be shortcomings. They turn up, the blessing come, but it's short-lived because they lose their life or so much drama happen in jail, they don't even get to enjoy it. So, you know, a lot of people gonna do what they gotta do to make it, man. So distraction is gonna be there. It's just a balance, like you said earlier, Bobby. Like sometimes you might be clubbing and you ain't on your game as much as you should be. But maybe if you aware of it and you ain't in denial and you go make up for your time and put in overtime, just like how you might overdraft that account, put in some overtime, you know what I'm saying? To make up for the money that you used or you misplaced or, you know. So I feel like everybody got their do's and don'ts, but distractions aren't gonna always be there. It's all about the discipline that you study within yourself to, you know, manifest your dreams and your goals, and don't let your distractions overweigh your accomplishments or your investing or your saving or just doing better things with your time and money. How you feel about it, Bobby?
Distractions?
Yeah, man. Where you been at?
I'm here. Like, there's so many distractions now. Like,
Talk that shit.
Man, negative social media.
Right. That's
like 100% pure.
I'll be scrolling for hours.
I'll be scrolling for hours. I'm looking at broads all day, like, wow. And then I'm like, bro, I've been on the toilet for like 20 minutes now. And I ain't even do nothing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm over here and I still want to do this. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of the young, especially the young kids, you know, they brought into this. You know, whereas we just got an iPhone 1. You get what I'm saying? They already walked into an iPhone 12, you know? So social media is like second nature for them. You know, the whole game is like different. So their distraction can be negative influencing. And there's a lot of that on there. Like, I get it. You discussed this before about they inherit things. A lot of these dudes from these neighborhoods, like
they inherit beef.
They inherit beef. So I get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't knock nobody. Like, you making your money, I get it. You know what I'm saying? But y'all gotta have an end game. Have some type of end game or something that's gonna progress you, because if you know any real dude, any real street dude, they gonna tell you something. You're either gonna be locked up or you're gonna be dead. Right. You know, and a lot of these dudes create businesses. Right. But I'm getting off the point. My whole point is this.
Nah, that's part of the point, because that's part of the outlet. Because if you gonna stay stuck in the streets doing the same thing, even if you is winning in the streets, you might want to start diverting and switching over to a more positive corporate, commercial, legal path. Right. Not illegal. Right. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the thing. Like, they don't get the education, because a lot of dudes will be thinking, not every dude, but a lot of real dudes will be thinking like, oh man, that smart shit, that's that corny shit. And it's like, nah, bro. Like, you have to think about this. Like, everything that we all possess, we all love something. Even the killers, you know what I'm saying? Everybody loves something. Right. And if you love something, whether it's going to a strip club, whether it's your children, whether it's your wife, whatever the case may be, rolling cameras, whatever. Everybody loves something. So if you love something, you protect what you love. Right. You know what I'm saying? And if you love that, and I get it, I know how it's fucked up out there. Right. You know what I'm saying? However, you always have a choice. So if you got a choice, think about your long-term goals. Think about your kids and be like, all right, let me move them away from here. You know what I'm saying? Because ain't nothing bad about having your kids in the crossfire. You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing bad about having your boys in the crossfire. If you're going to be smart, if you're going to be a thug, make sure he's intelligent. You know what I'm saying? So all this distraction stuff is also not having somebody to look up to. Right. That's giving you that element. You know what I'm saying? Because I know a lot of real dudes with that real element that'll be like, yo, Bobby, don't do that. Like, you don't have to do that no more. Dudes, I've been in a situation where dudes is like, nah, I got this. And I'm like, nah, nigga, I got this. And they like, yo, you don't have to do it. Bobby, you got other talent. Run with that. We're more than that. We're more than that, you know what I'm saying? Because on TV, it kind of tries to dictate what we can do. Right. You know what I'm saying? We're not just gangsters. We're not just football players, basketball players, and dancers. We can do whatever anybody else does. We're human beings on planet Earth. Right. You know what I'm saying? Earth is beautiful. People just make it ugly. Right. So all this distraction stuff is also a choice. However, it's right in our faces every single day.
I was about to ask you, Tim, do you feel like sometimes like some of the distractions that we fall victim to is because we program? Like you seen, they cloned Tyrone. Do you feel like some of the distractions, like we program to like be distracted if you don't like fight it with the discipline to overpower it?
I don't think that we're programmed, but I definitely think it's part of the agenda.
Yeah.
So if you follow their agenda, then yes, for sure, then you're following their program. But I think it's enough knowledge out here because we human, bro.
Right.
Like no matter what the government got going on, we know that we can do what we want to do. We did this. The government didn't do this. We did this.
Right.
So we know we strong. We stronger than what the government can tell us we can do.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if we follow the agenda of gang banging, selling drugs, being a nigga, just doing that, then of course that agenda already written. It's the penitentiary. The penitentiary feel of that. But when it comes to living your purpose, your gift, you know what I mean? When you tap into yourself and realize, all right, all that other shit that them niggas did was distractions. They got caught up in distractions.
Right. Don't get caught up in
You know what I'm
games.
saying? They got caught up in distractions. So what I need to do different is to focus and to know when nigga come to me about a distraction, oh nah, that's a distraction. No disrespect, homie, but I can't do that with you. You know what I mean? Because I'm on a go right now. Most people fall under that distraction. Like, yeah, I ride with you. Let's go up the street real quick.
Right. Some shit that happened just that quick. Now it's a gun under the seat that a nigga ain't claiming, and both of y'all babbed up for 7-8 months until somebody got to do something about it.
Right. You got a whole legit job, but your homie don't want to claim the gun because he know he gonna beat the case if he don't claim it. But you like, I don't even give a fuck about this case. You
Now they talking about no snitching. Don't snitch on me, nigga. Own up to your own shit, nigga. I ain't no rat though. I'm just saying. But this is what I'm trying to say though, boss man. That's why they say elevation requires separation. Because it's just like sometimes they say thou shalt not kill, right? But sometimes in certain circumstances, we all know, just like how somebody will win the lottery and somebody will come kill them and try to take their belongings. It's the same way how you know in the midst of you trying to make $1 million, $2 million, somebody might be casualty to death on you on some self-defense shit. So I just feel like one thing people just got to know their surroundings, and that's why they say elevation requires separation. Because if you focus on yourself and you know what you got going on and you could probably be confident in your surroundings, then that means you pretty much can be in control or know what's probably could happen. But when you out there, you doing too much, or you putting yourself in different spaces.
Chasing distractions.
Exactly.
You know, when the person out there chasing distractions, they lose focus on their goal. And they go, it turn into years. And it's like, damn, I've been wanting to do that. And it's been like 5 years. I've been wanting to do that like 6 years. It's like, because you've been chasing distractions. I guarantee your distraction be getting completed.
Right.
I guarantee that you done handle all your distractions.
Hey, so I want to go somewhere with this real quick. Do y'all think if somebody consumes so many distractions, do you think that's a sign of lack of confidence or a lack of trying to find themselves so much to where they just like, you know how they always say the dopamine, right? If I'm pronouncing it right, dopamine, right? So basically, right, people do a lot of stuff for quick fixes just to feel good. Those things be a lot of distractions just because you can accommodate them because they're feasible, you can get them done. But it be the bigger shit that they don't even try to do. But if you did it a little bit at a time, you probably could get it done, but it seemed like a hassle. Let me just go do this quick fix. It's gonna feel good for a moment, but it don't last long. And then they be mad or they be wondering how the other person did it, but they just switch how they use their dopamine. So talk to me if you ever experienced that or if you ever even think about that sometimes. Like,
you know, that's what they call the microwave society.
Right.
They want things fast.
Right.
They don't understand longevity.
Right.
They don't understand that, yeah, you can get OnlyFans and run it up.
Right.
But they don't understand the longevity behind that.
Right.
And then they don't understand, even as an artist, you wanna kill somebody to get, but you don't understand. Now your longevity is in itself.
and how you booking shows and showing flyers on your gram and the nigga know where you at. We just seen that happen recently. Nigga done had a show, not recently, this is probably like 2 years ago, 3 years ago, but nigga had a show. Everybody coming out there to support him. They got the line standing in front of the club too long and getting these people in there. Them people done staked out in the parking lot, then shot up the whole thing. And a couple people lost their life that was just there to support the artist. But whole time he already got smoked. And that's what's kind of making it hard for the whole Tri-County anyway with the Dade, Broward County, and not against each other, but just they own smoke in their own city. But I want to just get off distractions for a little bit and go to the whole perception versus illusion thing. Like, nowadays, it's a lot of illusions and perceptions that people, like, you know, put out there as bait, or if somebody believe in it, they fishing and they bite it, then how do you feel about perception and illusion, like in these days time, and like, you know, the hip hop rap game, or even like, you know, in the streets?
Shoot, you want to take it off?
Yeah, go ahead, pop off, Bobby.
All right, so perception and illusion.
Right.
An illusion is a lie.
Right.
It's a lie. Now, the perception is how somebody perceives something also. Right. Because you could look at something and be like, oh, no, I don't want to go there because, you know, some of our people are like, they feel comfortable only in their hoods, right?
Right.
So they just be like, nah, I don't want to go to this party. Why? It's going to be a bunch of white folks there. And it's like, what's wrong with you? Because their perception is stuck in those 12 blocks. Right. They can't move out of there. So they've created a delusional illusion to say, all right, I'm stuck in a box. Right. But like how you and I always talk, we break barriers. Like I go anywhere. Right. If you accept me, I'm gonna go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? Because I could do whatever I want to do. I do whatever I want to do anyways. So that whole perception is basically the person's mentality level, what they went through, you know? Right. And some people are afraid of success. Mm-hmm. So they're not gonna elevate themselves. They're gonna stay stuck where they are or stay stagnant because they're afraid of success, or they don't know where to go, or they don't know how to ask the right questions, or they can't articulate themselves correctly. Right. You know what I'm saying? Me, myself, I'm a little different. I'll ask questions, I'll study some shit, and then boom, I'll try it out. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, all right, it didn't work out for me. That's just me. But for me to get over that hump, I had to believe in myself, and I had to stop letting shit live rent-free in my head. And once I did that, I was like, oh, I'm gonna keep it moving. And that's what you have to do. You have to keep it moving, because if you allow your mind, the inside of your mind to always control you, and you're not ready to like make a move, sometimes you gotta think. Sometimes you just gotta react, you know what I'm saying? And just make it happen. But these illusions out here, they're going on all day. People are like, yeah, you could do this, you could do that. How many dudes out there talking about they smoking on their ops? Who said that? Somebody else not from this state said that. You know what I'm saying? Not from Florida. So a lot of people follow stuff believing like this is the thing. But the illusion is our community be losing. We be losing out of a lot of races because we want to just be tough. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's tough. Everybody ain't tough. That's an illusion. Everybody ain't tough. Everybody ain't gonna go. Everybody ain't gonna be on a podcast. You feel what I'm saying? Right. So we have to figure out, what is your path? How do you perceive things? What is your perception? And once you figure that out with a person and see where they're going, you can say, all right, maybe I'm gonna deal with them, or maybe I'm gonna just pardon my ways. You know what I'm saying? Like how you were saying.
But you know what's another thing I just realized was funny about perception as you was talking? Sometimes what somebody perceive of you or their perception of you don't matter. Right. And then sometimes it does. Imagine somebody speaking in a room for you and they speaking highly of you in the room for you. Imagine somebody speaking in the room for you that you could get an opportunity and they talk down on you. So how they perception of you would matter. Not saying you really care that much, because if they hating and you don't want to get put on from nobody that's not no good business or good vibes, no way. Right. But I do feel like sometimes perception matter. You don't care what everybody think, because obviously who cares what people think. But at the same time, sometimes people's perception of you could help you. Like you said earlier, all distractions are not negative. Some of them are positive. You just got to stay focused on what you're doing. Just because they actually doing something good and they inviting you to, all that was good, but it's just like, yo, I'm focused on this right now. So I also realized just now from us talking that sometimes you do want to keep a good repertoire, a good reputation. You do want to keep yourself up and try to do as much as you can as you want to be perceived sometimes, because like they say, first impression is really last impression. How I witness you the first time is probably how I'm going to think about you every time I think about you.
Definitely. And I want to tap in on both of those. Truth be told, I think illusion is like fantasy land. I don't think illusion. I think a person's illusion is them being stuck. And I also think a person having a perception is also a person being stuck. Because when it actually comes to perception, All right, let's discuss it. Do we mean how we think people think about us, or do we think about how we think about people? So if we're thinking about
Really both. That's smart. That's true. It's really both. That's right. You're right.
So if we're thinking about, all right, so let me think about how his perception is towards me. That's a waste of my literally energy. That's a waste of my mind frame, because I can never get his perception of me. I can never get your perception of me. All I can live is my reality. And I think when we actually like get caught in people's perception, we dim in our lights,
Right.
because their perception can't see what
Stop
we,
nothing, yeah.
you're right, and they can't see who we really are. It's just their perception on us. You know what I mean? Yeah, exactly. And it's limited. So a perception is something that's limited. An illusion is something that don't even exist.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think that we more need to step into the realm of us, reality, talking to ourselves, who you really are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Forget how somebody think about you. Like, you probably could think I'm pie, but if I go home and talk to myself and know I'm the realest one, that's what matters. That perception don't really matter unless I make it matter.
Right.
Then I start altering myself,
Right.
and I'll start being a different person. I'm not really me no more. I'm living for a perception.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I think we need to let go of perceptions. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think that's a big thing.
That's one thing I used to have to let go. Oh, that nigga tried me, dog. And I make it so big to where now it's like, he really tried me. Because now I done talk to myself. I done boost myself up. Now it's a bigger problem than what it really is. So sometimes I don't do that no more. I just understand whatever the situation or whatever the problem is and just take it for what it's worth. Because you could put something on steroids. Now it really is some smoke.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So, and even in perception too, I feel like you were still right, because not only what we think about ourselves or what people think about us or what we think about them. So I also think that despite whatever's for you is for you. So even if somebody was to be talking down because their perception of you is down, like they want to, it don't matter, because when one door closed, another door open. And like we were saying earlier, even if it's a situation where you was like, damn, that was an opportunity, but if you know them people ain't good people or good business, you'll find another one that's better for you that fit you. You know what I'm saying? And what I was gonna say, Bobby, you also said something too earlier that has something to do with like the way people live. I feel like that got a lot to do with illusions and perceptions too. Yeah. Because I used to always see people say like, oh, I'm doing this. This is real to me. But in hindsight, in paperwork or to everyone else, it would be considered wrong or fake. Mm-hmm. But to that person, they're like, yo, to me, it's this. And I don't care what you think. This is all illusion. That's an item. So no matter what you say, if it's wrong or right or real or fake, it's still just an item. Right. So that illusion to you is depending on how you live and how you think. So when you were saying that earlier, I was wondering like, how many things do you ever come across in a day or just every now and then, like that make you really feel like, is this like an illusion? Like, is this really real?
A lot of, almost every single day, like just when people talk to me.
Like on some deja vu type shit or like?
Nah, just like, sometimes people will just come to me and they'll just talk to me, and I'm like, "Is this real? Like, is this really happening right now?" Like on that type of shit.
Right.
You know,
like talking to a stranger and it's a good conversation.
Yeah,
and it's like,
is this real right now? It's like, because conversation may be good, you know, or the person may be trying to scam me, and I'm already seeing where they coming from, like a mile away, and I'm just like, "Yo, is this really happening? Like, is he serious?" You know? And it's like, I entertain it for a second, but then I'll be out. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like, I just don't tolerate that. I don't want none of that. Like, everybody that's in my circle, everybody that I'm in their circle now too, is pure hearted. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no foo-foo stuff. I don't deal. My elevation is elevating. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm going up there. You know what I mean? So it's like anybody that I'm around is all business minded. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's productive. Right. So I respect them, and I know that whatever I'm dealing with, is the truth.
Right.
Because I'm not going to deal with nothing that's fake. And the way that, like I said before, the way the universe has just been lining me up, it's just been lining me up to where I'm supposed to be going. I'm paying attention.
Right.
And when you pay attention to what's going on, when people are offering you something, it's like, hey, listen, I would like for you to be here. You know what I mean? Listen to their words. If you listen to a person talking to you, they'll tell you exactly how they think about you.
Right.
Straight up and down, you know? Right. Even the little funny shit that people be saying. It's like little funny jokes and shit is like, all right, that's cool, but does he really mean that?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I pay attention. I read people and I pay attention.
So that's what I was just about to say. You brung up what I was going to ask both of y'all. I got 2 questions for y'all boys. The first question is what I was just about to ask you. You just said you read people. I was just about to ask y'all. How often do you be able to read energy when you come acquainted with somebody or come in conference with somebody and you're able to read the energy if they're good people or bad people?
I like to start this. Me, honestly, fam, I'm not a person that listens to people.
Right.
You know,
But action, you go off action.
I'm all about really how their words feel to me.
Right.
So like, for example, you can say, I love you, or I fucking love you. So it's really about, I'm listening to how the words feel to me.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I'm really big on energy, fam. Like, I'm real big on, because the thing is, bro, like, all right, my bad, y'all.
No, you good.
I just want to shift.
Go ahead.
All right, bet. Right now we're shifting into like a different little dimension. Right. So you remember back in the day when you can talk a chick pants off.
Right.
Like your game mattered.
Right.
We don't live in that time no more. Really, we live in that heart chakra where a bitch can tell if you lying just by talking. Like you can't really game a bitch no more. You just gotta pay her, because we in a different time now. You know what I mean? Where mouth don't really matter. So energy is gonna be everybody's key source in really finding their success, because people out here still using their mouth, people still trying to finesse, but your heart you instantly can tell.
That's what I'm saying. So how often, like, tapping into that energy, what you explaining, right? That's what I'm saying. How often, when you come in contact with people, can you really read the energy where you really tapping into it? Like, yo, my gut feeling telling me this is a good person or this is a negative person. Yo,
I bet.
Keep them from around.
So this is what I tell my OG. If I meet a person and they aligned, then pretty much I trust them. But if it's a person that's not in line, I want to sit down and now I want to talk to them, because you're not in alignment. So let me hear what you're talking about, because I need to listen to you, because you're not pure. Right. You know what I mean? But if you're a pure person in alignment, I don't got to know where you stay at. I don't got to know, you know what I'm saying, how to get at you. You're a pure energy. You know what I'm saying? Next time I meet you, it's going to be in some pure shit.
Right, good vibes.
But if you're a person that don't got that, I need to sit down and cause you may have a plan for me, but let me talk to you now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I gotta treat you differently. You know what I mean? Cause your energy ain't pure. Right. You know what I mean? But I really encounter that
often. Yeah, sometimes reading good people from negative people, how to deal with them and who to cut off and who to link up.
And my brother, he kind of look at me like, dang, how you deal with negative people? Is because I sit down and I listen to them. I know that they don't mean me or them no good. Right. So I need to figure out what they're talking about. Right. If you're talking about something that could benefit both of us, I bet I'm going to put my positive energy in it where we could benefit both of us, and bet. That's it. That's all we're doing. Right. But if you're on some real energy, I can align with you, then I'm aligned with you for life. Right. Because I trust you. You feel me? I trust anything you got going. You say pull up here, I'm not going to ask who there. I'm in line with you. I'm going to pull up. Right. You know what I'm saying? I know you got me protected. Right. I know you got me safe.
You should already know that what I'm on and
right.
What about you, Bobby? Like, how does it, when you come in contact with people and you experiencing different energies and you starting to like learn how to read energy? Like, yeah, I'm gonna vibe with this person, or nah, I'm gonna cut them off. You know.
Well, you know me, I don't show up for shit.
Yeah.
Like I like people, but I don't like to be around a lot of people because everybody ain't pure. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, even a lot of real dudes, they just ain't pure. Their intentions is something else. Right. You know what I'm saying? And like, even when you and I first met, you know what I'm saying? Our conversation was long. We had great conversation, right. You know? and there was foundation to it, there was meaning, you know what I'm saying? It was substance, you know, and things you were saying was resonating. So I was like, all right, cool. He holds weight. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if you bust a gun, I don't care what you do. I don't care if a person's a nerd. If you thorough and you just thorough by being honest, I respect that. As a human being, it's fine to be whatever you want to be, as long as you honest. You know what I'm saying? If you honest, your honesty and your manners is what's gonna get you far in this life. You know what I'm saying? Whether you a gangster or a civilian or a corporate person, it don't matter who you are. You know. But when these people, when individuals, because I'm not saying people, because it's not everybody, but when individuals have this persona of they just like to lie for attention, that shit just is like, all right, cool. I don't even want to fuck with you. I don't care who you are. Right. I don't care how famous you are. I'm not piggybacking off of you. I got nothing to do with you, because I don't want that around me. You feel me? Like I said, like everybody I mess with is like, they honest, and they, even if I don't like it, tell me the truth, because I'm gonna be like, cool, I respect that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I respect that, whether it's legit, whether it's an old person, I respect it. You just keep it a buck with me, because I'm gonna keep it a buck. However, I understand everybody ain't gonna be like me.
Yeah, when it come to me though, I just feel like reading energy, it just save you a lot of wasted time. And sometimes, you know, me as a person, I had to learn to not be doing too much sometimes, because when people don't reciprocate the energy, you kind of feel left out or you feel down about that. So now I just play it how people playing. If you putting in time and energy, I'm gonna do the same. If you pull it up for me, I'm gonna pull up for you. If you gave me something, I'm gonna give you something, return the favor. So I feel like just reading energy, it just make you go about some of your days way better and with less headaches, because you know, sometimes it's the season of cutting people off. Definitely. And sometimes it's a productive season of linking up and getting stuff done. But you already know, man, it's Dollar Bill 305. We here with Tim 954, Culture Talk TV. Got DJ Bobby on the side. We're going to take a commercial break. We'll be right back with a little bit more conversation of distractions and also perception versus illusions.
So everybody want to know, what is higher voltage? Well, it's a platform. We're here to offer services for every upcoming business, every music label, every business, every artist, rapper, singer. Even if you have a product or a merchandise, that's what we're here for. We're here to give you plenty episodes and plenty shows. Y'all like, subscribe, and comment. Dollar Bill 305, higher voltage. Let's go. Higher voltage.
Yes, we back from a commercial break. This Dollar Bill 305 from Higher Voltage. You already know I got my dogs in the building. Tim 954. You already know DJ Bobby in the cut. And it's going way up. And we're going to finish off our conversation. You know, bosses link with bosses, king link with kings, and have productive conversations. And we're going to keep providing y'all with good content. And thanks to anybody who subscribed. We finally reached 1,000 subscribers. You already know. Thanks for everybody in the membership program who been becoming a member. And if you ain't a member yet, join the membership. If you don't want to be a member and you want to donate in the comments in the super thanks area, just go to the heart where the dollar sign is in the heart, and you can send anywhere from $1.99 to $10.99, $15, $20, whatever you want to donate. If you want to. But for the most part, you already know we was talking about distractions, and then also we was talking about perception versus illusion. So we're gonna get back to our conversation. So this whole distraction thing was inspired by Tim 954, as we said earlier. You know, he was just speaking on how you can have negative and positive distractions. And before we get off the topic, I just wanted to let bro just talk to the people just a little bit more about that. You know what I mean?
So pretty much, let's just end it like this. Distractions. You yourself, you got goals. You have a vision for yourself.
Right.
You have a direction you want your life to go in. So you need to create a plan. You need to understand that plan. And you need to understand that fun, friends, anything that jeopardize your plan, even if it's 5%, jeopardize your plan 20%. If it jeopardizes your plan, that's a distraction. And right now, this is the time for all of us to hone in on our goals, on our road to riches, and cut out distraction, whether it's positive, Whether it's, hey man, come celebrate with me, that's a positive distraction. Or whether it's negative, man, somebody just beat on me, let's go ride down on these boys, that's a negative distraction. But they both will take you off your course. They both want to stop you from seeing your goal. So, you know, I just want to end distractions just really with that for people to understand that they come in good, they come in bad, but if it's going to alter you from your success and from your goals, dead that shit, bro.
Facts. And most of the time, most of these distractions be liability. They don't be profitable. You know what I'm saying? You might end up paying for a lawyer before you can invest in your business. You know what I'm saying? So on that note, we also was talking about perception versus illusion. And Bobby, I wanted you to give your last final thoughts on just illusion on the whole, how we was talking about how people could sell perceptions and illusions, and just also how we talked about re and energy from just, you know, your perception on somebody and how you feel like you should deal with that person.
Well, you know, not to be too much subjective, because it's my opinion because somebody may like me, but somebody else may not like me at all. And I gave two different people the same energy, but one person just doesn't like me because he, in his mind or her mind, they look at me they may not understand what I meant. So sometimes when we have these perceptions, because everybody's going to have a perception about something. You know, everybody's going to hurt you in this lifetime. You just got to find the people who are worth hurting for. You get what I'm saying? You know, so, but when you have these perceptions, you have these illusions, there's a difference between somebody's personal opinion and somebody trying to scam you. Right. Now, these a person that's trying to scam somebody, they're creating 100% illusion. It's not it's not to benefit you. It's only to benefit them to their perception. You get what I'm saying? Exactly. They're finessing. So they're just going to look at it like, all right, cool. You're meat. So right now, they're going to sell you a whole package and you're like, oh, cool. Yeah, I could do this. And they're like, yeah, you could do this. But the whole entire time, their intentions is completely different or opposite of what you thought it was, because they painted an illusion for you. Right. So now what you perceive to them, or your perception of them, is highly incorrect because the illusion distorted all the vision. Right. So now you fucked up in the head, excuse my French, but you fucked up in the head now because you believe something that was never true.
Right, they put on a persona, they two-faced it. They put on a persona just to benefit them, to finesse you, when really they really not like that. They just did what they had to do to get around you and infiltrate you.
Correct. Absolutely. Right. And it happens all the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, to the best of us. Anybody that's like, yo, I've never been played, is lying to themselves. Right. Or they've lived under a rock their whole entire life.
You ain't get to learn your lesson from it.
Exactly. Because all these lessons that we've been taught, because we had a discussion before, we never get over anything. We just learn how to deal with it. You know, because if it didn't hurt us, it would have never bothered us in the first place.
Right.
And quick question, brother. What do you tell the youth? How does the youth watch out for that?
Be aware of your surroundings at all times and all costs, and trust people when they say they're going to do somebody wrong. Trust people I only trust people how far I could throw them, because you can't have one without the other. Everybody ain't loyal. Whether you religious or not, even in the Bible, it says, you know, in Quran, I don't want to get too far, but it tells you that you can't have one without the other. So there's always going to be somebody out there trying to snake you. So always have your antennas up. You know what I'm saying? Always be aware. But at the same time, you always have a choice. Even if you in your dying bed, you always have a choice. So try to make the best choice, the most positive choice as possible as you can. You know what I'm saying? And you're allowed to defend yourself. You're 100% allowed to defend yourself. But be aware of your surroundings and know what you're getting into, because a lot of these dudes don't know what they're getting into. They just watch TV and they're like, I want to be that. But they don't see if a dude lift his shirt, he got bullet wounds over here. They don't see that his mom is gone. You know what I'm saying? They don't see none of that stuff. They just see that. You know what I mean? They not showing the pretty side of that with all the diamonds and everything. You're not seeing all that. So these kids is just growing up thinking, oh, well, I'm going to be this. Oh, why is all my homeboys on you? That's part of the game. So whatever you do in life, make sure that you have an end game or you got a long-term plan, because we talked about the delayed gratification. Everybody want money right now. But if you say that's an illusion, you know what I'm saying? The delayed gratification is the actual plan, because that humbles you to say, all right, cool, I'm gonna get this $5 every single week. but it's gonna take a couple days to get it. Whereas, yeah, I'm gonna get this $5 right now, but now I gotta run around and hide because people's looking for me. So all these decisions that you're making, make sure that you're not creating your own illusion, because these dudes really thinking they living their life, but they living somebody else's life because they seen it on TV.
Right.
And that be the realest thing. Like a real dude's gonna tell you, a real dude should tell you the truth.
Right.
Yo, and especially if it's your homeboy. Like if you see me effing up, tell me. Because if you don't tell me and you know I'm about to go jump the gun, at least tell me something. If you don't tell me and it's like, all right, he's over there now he's dead. What kind of friend are you?
But the sad thing is, you talking OG game.
Fact.
Yeah.
The new generation, they backdoor
They
their
ain't
homie.
enlightened that much.
Yeah.
They actually would literally backdoor their best friends.
Because they think that that's part of the game.
Because that's what they're influencing. That's what they think that gonna give them street cred.
Right.
And it's like they chasing distractions.
And there ain't no loyalty.
There ain't no loyalty. It's an illusion. They just chasing an illusion.
So let's take the conversation to some theory. I want to ask both of y'all boys, because I got my own perception of what I think about this, but do y'all feel like the world is flat, or do you feel like it's round, as in saying like a circle or a sphere? Like, or do you feel like it's flat? Both of y'all boys. You one of y'all boys set it off. You can set it off.
Oh, shoot. Man, it's a lot that comes with that, brother.
Right.
It's a lot that comes with it because we've been indoctrinated into a lot of information.
Right.
You know what I mean? So a lot of stuff that we going to talk about is stuff that we've been indoctrinated to talk about.
Right.
You know what I mean? But when you go outside of that indoctrination, then you understand that, fam, that's not even a discussion, to be
Ain't no
honest.
telling.
It's not ain't no telling. That's not even a discussion, because you have things like what is it, Antarctica, right?
Right.
Every country has agreed. Every country has agreed that they can't go over there, and that's a place on our Earth.
Right.
We have the Grand Canyon. We can't even go to the Grand Canyon. It's certain places on this Earth that we can't go to. You know what I mean? So conspiracy, man, this it's beyond conspiracy. Like it's crazy.
I'm saying though, so do you feel like, just to answer the question, like if you had to pick, do you feel like it's flat, or do you feel like?
I feel like, honestly, I feel like from what I have seen, that it's flat.
That's my answer.
You know.
I feel like it's flat, but you know.
Why you say that?
I mean, just from me traveling, and I see, like, when I do see like hills or stuff that's uneven, I just think about how the sun and the moon rises, and I just feel like, from my knowledge, from what I've seen and what I read or came across, like the way how the moon and sun rising, it's like they show you a world where it's supposed to be spinning and all of this, but I feel like stuff just going up and down and all that, but it's not actually fully round.
Is it going up and down?
I just feel like that's a perception that they'll make if they was to show you the world and then show like a plane going over it to get to somewhere. Like, but in all actuality, like from seeing stuff, even when you're in a plane and you look low, you don't really feel like you see any curve to that. You just see a bunch of flat land from far out. So I could be wrong, but that's just what I feel. What you think, Bobby?
I got mixed emotions about that, but I honestly think that I don't think it's 100% a sphere.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it might be in a shape of an oval.
Right.
Because you know how you have people that live on top of Earth and then they say on the bottom, but yet we have this magnet that goes around, you know, and how we spin. Now, on Earth, it would be different because people would fall off. But in space and with gravity and how it's kind of balanced, you know, because you have the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. And I think that kind of does some type of balance to keep us from falling off the planet, one. However, when you look at it, it's like if the Earth is spinning like at 12,000 miles per hour, you know, shouldn't we be dizzy? But we're in space. So we really don't know. That's why I say I have mixed emotions about it, because truth be honest, we really don't know. All we know is what we've been told.
Or what you feel like you experienced from just
That's
saying
it.
that, all right, it feels like everything.
Yeah. So I'll be honest with you.
What your answer would be?
I'm gonna go with it's round.
So I have a question. The fact that you go with it round, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you know about the firmament? Do you believe in the firmament?
Nah, I don't believe in that. I don't believe in the firmament.
Okay, so you don't believe in the firm, or do you believe? Do you believe in the Bible?
I believe in it to a certain extent.
Okay, so since the Bible talks about us having a firmament, how do you feel since it's a globe and the Bible does speak about firmament?
The devil doesn't take a day off, so this one's gonna be a big one. The devil doesn't take a day off, so the people that are really controlling this world, they've tapped into a lot of things. And because they tapped into a lot of things, who's to say that they haven't tapped into schools, haven't tapped into books? And I could be wrong. Now, don't get it twisted.
You're actually 1,000% right.
I know for a fact that, the Bible has been translated. It was translated, into different words, like even from the name Jesus, you know what I'm saying? Like they say it was Yahweh, but then they said it was something else before that, Yeah, exactly. So, and the people who were said to have killed him, was the Romans. That's where the Vatican is at. So that's why I have a lot of mixed emotions about things, because I look at it like, all right, cool, this is supposed to be all positive. However, who's to say they haven't put stuff in here like how they put stuff on social media to distract us from what the reality is, so that we don't know anything and we're doing what we're doing right now. So I have a mixed emotion about the firmament.
So pretty much what I asked him, I was like, all right, bet. Since the Bible talks about firmament, since he thinks that the world is circular, I said, do you believe in the firmament? He was like, nah. And I was like, all right, well, since the Bible talks about the firmament, because the firmament pretty much gives claim to flat Earth, like nothing gonna go out. Right. But if you think that the Earth is circular, then you don't believe in the firmament. It's like kind of like I don't understand.
But that's why it's a rabbit hole within itself, like you said in the beginning, because once you start tying religion to it and other people's studies or reasons why, I was just basing it upon like experience, probably the same reason why they just said that it's flat, just from just life experience, you probably feel that way. But I feel like when I had this conversation before, I just feel like when you start including space and gravity into it and all of that stuff into it, that's where the whole part about whether the sun is either rising and falling or the moon rising and falling on the flat earth, or is it really rotating and people get to view it from different angles. So
I think all that is witchcraft, to be honest with you. I think that God gave us what's real, what's natural, what we can see, what we can feel, what we can taste, what we can hear, and everything else in them books is nonsense.
Right.
Yeah. You know what I mean? I think everything in the book is nonsense. We can go outside and see the trees. We can go pick fruit. We can live life. You know what I mean? Everything in the books is throwing us off, making us think different, chase different things, chase money, chase education, and forgetting about everything that we got really that's here.
And let me intervene, because a part of me doesn't want to believe it's flat. So that's why I say that I'm going with that.
That's why you say you're indecisive.
Yeah, because I'll be honest with you, I haven't really studied on flat Earth. Like I've done a little bit, but not enough to want to hold a conversation on it, because I don't know enough. Because a part of me doesn't really want to know enough too. And I'm being honest with you, because it's like, this is what I've been taught. However, it's like, man, this is a whole nother thing. It's like they've been lying to us about this too. It's like crap. Like I know I'm awoken to things. I'm not gonna say woke, because you guys have moved it into a whole nother realm, and it ain't what woke really means. Anyhow, I'm aware. We'll say that. I'm highly aware of what's going on in society. I'm highly aware with myself, with humanity. You know what I'm saying? With man, woman, and child.
So
Sun, moon, and stars.
You admit that you're aware?
I do admit that I'm aware. I may not be 100% aware, but
Because that's a serious statement to take on in the life that we're living. Like, if you feel that you're aware, that comes with a lot. Because if you feel that you're aware, do you grow your own food? Do you get your own?
But you gotta remember, it's all levels to being aware.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, you gotta remember, you might be somebody who might be aware of not really eating certain things, but they still might not be vegan.
right. So I could say I am aware. However, I haven't pulled, as you can tell, I probably haven't pulled away 100%, but I'm definitely aware. Foods, clothing, a lot of, I don't want to say religion.
So, question: you know that you need to pull 100% aware,
Absolutely.
but you just haven't done it yet.
Absolutely.
But I
I
feel
can
like-
admit that.
but I
I will
feel
admit
like-
that.
no,
Straight
but
up.
I also feel
I'm
like,
working.
though-
I work on myself. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Because I know
You
that
have to.
I know that I'm not perfect. You know, I know I've made mistakes. I know what I've done in the past, but I know where I want to go.
But I feel like that's why I like how you changed it from just saying you just woke and you say you're aware. Because I feel like if you're aware, then you might not be in denial.
Right.
So
But
that
you still
means
make
that
mistakes.
even if you ain't really changing it all the way or doing it all the way, you might be aware of what it takes. So you might be able to practice it in the near future. But like you said, he ain't fully did it.
Right.
But you might start cutting back on how you think about liquor or your consumption of any drug, or you might think about how you hang out and party or celebrate. Like, all right, I ain't gonna do that much because what am I celebrating? I want to accomplish things or achieve goals. So now I'm gonna celebrate. So you might, same thing we was talking about, the negatives into distractions and the positives. Like, it's the same shit with that in a sense, because you could kind of have a good balance and kind of be aware of the full change, but don't fully change. But then that make you uniquely you. Because then it's like, damn, there go Tim 954. He a good righteous man, but I know that boy from the gutter. He a good dude, but I know he know them streets. So it'd be like being book smart and street smart at the same time. So it's like the people who really lacking that's aware is because you're not making no changes and you still in denial. But if you're aware and you know some of the changes you can make, but you ain't made all of them, but you're doing something as you go, you know, one day at a time, one brick at a time, then you might wake up to the day where you fully woke.
Right.
Like how you broke it down. I like how you brung it down from saying, oh, I ain't woke, I'm aware. That's more better, because some people who woke is on the final stages. Some people might be aware and don't want to change, but they might participate in certain things that they want to, you know. To each his own. That's why all of us uniquely different. You feel what I'm saying?
Thank you for clarifying that, like both of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Because
Nah, he took it there though, because I could imagine if we was around some black activists or some community leaders and they probably wanted to test you to see how much you could stand on that.
Right.
And if you wouldn't have been able to articulate yourself and just be like, yo, I'm aware more, like I ain't in denial. I know some of the things I need to change.
Right.
And I'm actually practicing and active in some of these things.
yeah, absolutely. Because I'll never be that dude that's like, oh, I know everything. I'm better than everybody, because I ain't no better than everybody. I'm foul just like everybody else. I've committed sin just like everybody else. Everybody's committed some type of sin, even if you thought about it. You know what I'm saying? There's no big sin. There's no small sin. It's just a sin.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? However, that's a perception.
Right.
That's an illusion. And that's something else that I'm learning through trial and error. You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, you know, I'm aware. I ain't 100% on the shit.
Right.
However, yeah, I'll be like, I shouldn't eat that. Yeah, I shouldn't do this.
Right.
You know what? I shouldn't even be watching this, because if I think it, I am it.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You know, so, and there are things that I'm learning, and that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna study up a little bit more on this flat earth, you know, and I'm gonna read a little bit more about the firmament and everything to see, because like I said, we all learn certain stuff, and there's things that I've learned, and like I've read the Bible, I've read the Quran, you know what I'm saying? Like I've been around Jewish people, you know what I'm saying? And one thing I figured out is that all their stories are all the same.
Right.
Pretty much. Just some little bits and pieces have been taken out, but all the stories, you know, pretty much the same with Abraham. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that, you know. Stories are all pretty much the same. However, one thing I've realized is that evil doesn't take a day off. So if evil doesn't take a day off, who's to say that the people that are producing the books aren't tainting the books?
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Even the people that are stand behind the book. We don't know because evil be lurking all over the place. That's what we're taught.
But I'm gonna tell you this: I don't give evil power like that. You know, I like to say good is always lurking. Good is always, you know what I mean? Fuck evil. You know what I mean? Good is lurking. Good is out here for us. We need to search for good. You know what I mean?
So speaking on evil and good right now, like let's do a moment of silence for like the 3 pioneers that we just lost: the wrestler, the actor, you know, everybody. Musician. Moment of silence. Yeah. So right now, rest in peace. Go ahead, Bobby. Go ahead.
We lost a few people. We lost Hulk Hogan. He was 71. I believe it was a cardiac arrest, you know, and you know he played a major part, you know, and when I was growing up at least, you know, like
With the wrestling scene.
yeah, with the wrestling, he'd be like, "Hey, brother," you know, and it was cool because you know he was just like our people, all people could relate to it, you know, because they was just looking at it like, oh man, he's just a cool dude.
Right.
He's always out there, and you know, the news always has something negative to talk about people, but we're not there for that. We here because he was a wrestler.
Right.
He was a father. You know what I'm saying? He was a husband, you know, and
he was a champion a few times in his space too with the WrestleMania. That boy get out there, rip his shirt, win a few games.
didn't he fight Mr. T? Did he wrestle with Mr. T?
Maybe he's the icon.
Yeah, he's definitely an icon.
Definitely, he fought most of the greats. And then you got Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, Ozzy Osbourne. He's a musician. How old was he? He was what, 75, 76? Yeah, 75, 76. He's this guy is like, he was in a group called Black Sabbath, you know, and throughout like the early 70s, it was a lot of classic music, you know, and people loved that, you know, like, you know, he was just a genuine musician.
Right.
He didn't want to be anybody else, you know, like you'd see him on his show, he'd be like, Sharon, I'm the fucking Prince of Darkness.
Yeah.
And she'd be like, Ozzy, shut the fuck up. What's wrong with you? I fucking love them. You know what I'm saying?
And
Like,
they also like the trendsetters for that whole dark emoji, that whole emo look with the dark look, where they
painting their nails, you know.
all of the dark look.
Yeah.
Sure. And
Malcolm
Bill
Jamal.
Cosby.
Yeah, Malcolm Jamal Warner.
Right.
He was 50. Was it 54? Yeah, 54 years old. God rest him. Drowned.
in a pool.
He drowned in a pool. He played another major part, and especially like in my life because you know I come from up north, and you know there's a lot of things that I've seen. You know, you have hoods everywhere you go, but I've seen some things when I was younger. However, sometimes TV does dictate like what people are, you know, and to me, you're either a good person or you're just a piece of crap. I don't care about your money, your gender, none of that shit matters at all. Your race, none of that shit matters at all. It's on the individual themselves. So when they had the Cosbys, you had Malcolm Jamal Warner on there, and it showed a different side of a race of people, of a culture of people, you know, and you got to see another side. It's like, wow, they're a family. Yeah, we could do whatever everybody else does, you know. And you remember when he had the shirt with all the pockets on it, and it was like he made a shirt himself, and on the show, and he was like, I did this. Look, I'm a creator, you know. And they were like, what's wrong with you? And it was all messed up. It was wrong, you know. But it was just cool just to see him like, hey, listen, it's not about drinking. It's not about basketball. It's not about sports. It's not what TV tries to dictate.
And that was early on too, because it wasn't that much black film and black TV shows and black actors at that time. Like
that was the show. The Cosbys was the show. Like that's what we watched back in the day. That and Living Color, you know what I'm saying, et cetera, et cetera.
What's happening?
Yeah.
Different strokes.
Yeah, we got throwbacks. Yeah, throwbacks. We got to see different aspects of people in different cities and going through different stuff, because we all go through things in life. All of us. Everybody got something going on. Whether it's this big or it's this big. Everybody got something going on.
And we just wanted to say rest in peace to all the legends and all the pioneers, wrestler, actors, musician, rest in peace. And on that note, it's Dollar Bill 305 from Higher Voltage, Tim 954, Culture Talk TV, DJ Bobby. It's been another episode. Y'all stay tuned for the next episode, interviews, blogs. We out just like that. We out of here.
So everybody want to know, what is higher voltage? Well, it's a platform. We're here to offer services for every upcoming business, every music label, every business, every artist, rapper, singer. Even if you have a product or a merchandise, that's what we're here for. We're here to give you plenty episodes and plenty shows. Y'all like, subscribe, and comment. Dollar Bill 305, higher voltage. Let's go.
Higher voltage.